Some of you guys may know that I'm in a long distance relationship with my partner, and a couple of you guys have been asking for some advice and tips on how to survive your long distance relationship. So I just thought I would do a little video on how me and my boyfriend get through it. So hey guys, it's Becky and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. Hello if you're new there. I do loads of plus size fashion, beauty, lifestyle, home, vlogs, all that kind of good thing, as well as the occasional advice video. So if you like that kind of thing, then I would absolutely love it if you'd hit that big red subscribe button down below, and of course give this video a big thumbs up. And hello to my lovely regulars. Thank you so much for joining me today on this slightly different video topic, but it is obviously a topic that I know quite a lot about. So yeah, I'm hoping it can help some of you guys out if your relationship is going to become a long distance relationship, or you've say met your partner online and you are starting out in a long distance relationship. There are so many different relationships and how they form, whatever, but I'm just hoping that this video can kind of help you out, give you some practical advice and some tips. But yeah, just share the love. But first up, we do have a sponsor for today's video, and that is LoveEnts. Not 100% sure how to, so this is the name. And they do high-tech sex toys for every bedroom, and basically this is so cool, guys, and it takes long distance relationships to the next level. They are Bluetooth remote controlled sex toys. I have the one called the Ambi, and as I said, they can be controlled by your phone or by somebody else's phone. It's super cool. I know this tech's been out for a while, but it was really expensive. Like, we did actually look into it a few years ago, but the tech has become a bit more affordable, so that is great. And this has got so many features, so I'm gonna cut to some clips. Me and my boyfriend, guys, I was so ill the last time I saw my boyfriend, so I'm gonna do a voiceover of all the features, but we are so impressed, and it is a game changer. So let's roll the VT. So guys, I'm going to talk to you about the many features of this vibrator. So first up is the basic controls. You can literally use your finger, your button, etc. You can also pair with another phone. Obviously it requires your permission, but that is perfect for long distance relationships. Then up next, you've got patterns. So that's stuff like pulses, waves, and these are kind of like pre-made. So you can just, you know, choose which one you want and get going. Loads of different variations there, as you can see, works wonders. Then up next is music. So music, if you have music on your iTunes, you can actually sync it, so it syncs to the music. Very cool. Then another feature, the alarm. So, you know, if you want to have a really happy wake up moment, you could set an alarm for the morning or any other time. Just there's lots of different like fun things that you can do with the Vibe. Just so many like ways to play, and you can also choose like so many different things, like if you want a pattern, etc. Then this is interesting. This uses sound to decide how kind of like fast it goes. Again, we can think of lots of different ways that this could be used, and it was so loud it fell off the table. And then some more features, you can actually get patterns from all around the world from other users that have uploaded them. So these are some of the most popular patterns, and you can also do patterns for 2 toys at a time. So if there's 2 of you and you've got 2 different toys, you can have a pattern that kind of like flows with both. Just so many things you could do. It's so innovative. We were really, really impressed. And then finally, this one is speed mode. So warning, do not do this if you are driving, but it does detect how fast you're going, and that will determine how fast the vibrator goes. Honestly, guys, it's game changing. Like, technology is being used in the right ways here. So impressed. So if you are as impressed as I was testing out the Ambi by Lovance, then I will link it down below. It's really, really cool. They also have lots of other shapes. They've got, you know, ones for men, ones for both, etc, etc. This is like the classic like bullet vibrator style, but yeah, super cool. And it is available on both the Apple Store if you have an iPhone, but also on the Google Play Store, so I believe that's for Android. But yeah, I will leave this linked down below. Huge thank you to Lovance for sponsoring this portion of the video, and yeah, I hope you enjoy if you do decide to pick one up. A lot of fun. So I have written a little cue card for me, just to give you guys a little premise of my current situation. Me and my boyfriend have been together for now almost 4.5 years. Like, time has flown by. We both met in London. That's where he and I both worked. And we were in London together, I think, for almost 1.5 years. So we have been in a together relationship for 1.5 years, on the same country, in the same land for 1.5 years. We literally used to be a 15-minute Uber drive from each other. Like, it was a 30-40 minute walk to each other, so that was nice. And then he ended up having to relocate because of work to Luxembourg. And literally 2 weeks later, COVID happened. So we all know what happened there. The world shut down, especially Luxembourg, because they were hit hard. And I didn't get to see him until July. That was really hard because we went from literally seeing each other 3 or 4 times a week to not seeing each other at all. And then I actually stayed with him in Luxembourg for maybe almost 2 months. That was really, really nice. But then Brexit happened. And I couldn't enter the EU. So then I didn't see him again for, what was it? May even? It was a long period of time. And yeah, I'm trying to it's all just merged into one big thing. Then he took up a new job at the end of last year and is now in Monaco, which is a lot warmer, but again, still very much long distance. So yeah, we've actually been in a long distance relationship now longer than we have been in a in-person relationship. Is that what you would call it? I don't know. So yeah, we're kind of expert. And obviously, just a premise, we are quite a short long distance relationship. Obviously, he is in mainland Europe, and he is quite easy for me to get to. Appreciate some people might be like on completely different continents, and that does make things a bit harder with time zones and cost of travel. So I'm just premising that now. Obviously, everyone's situations are going to be different, and my situation is easier than some people's will be. So just want to premise that right now, because yeah, I don't know, that would be a lot harder, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that is my situation currently, and of course I'm not gonna say that it's all been easy breezy, and it's not obviously like what we would like our relationship to be, but it just is what it is at the moment. So the first thing that I think every long distance relationship needs, like the groundwork, is trust. You need to have 100% trust in your partner for it to work, because we both go out and do things. Like, you know, I go out with my friends, you know, he goes out a lot, you know, in Monaco, and, you know, is making new friends and mingling, and you know, that those situations, they could have other things happen in them, but I trust JP, my boyfriend, that he's not going to do anything. Like I trust him implicitly, and you need that, because neither one of you are just going to be sat at home doing nothing, twiddling your thumbs until you next see each other, or you next do a video call together. Like, you're going to have a life, and you need to be able to trust each other, that when you do go out and you are socialising with other people, that nothing's going to happen. Like, you know, it's just friendship. And also, I've never been a person to look on someone's phone. Like, I am quite a trusting person. So obviously you're not going to have, if you are one of those people, like, probably a long distance relationship is not for you in general. But you know, he's going to have, you know, you're both going to have access to your phone and not have someone like looking over your shoulder. So trust is a huge one, because yeah, you're not around that person 24/7. You don't know if they're texting someone else or calling someone else or seeing someone else. But I know that I completely trust JP to remain loyal, and I know he trusts me the same way. And I think that is the biggest part. If you've not got that trust, you're constantly going to be thinking otherwise. You know, every time they go out, you're going to be thinking, are they cheating on me? Are they kissing someone? Are they getting to know someone? If someone goes over and talks to them, you know, what's happening there? If you're thinking that, it's not going to work, because any time that person goes out, and the same way, you know, if your partner's constantly thinking, like, texting, where are you? What are you doing? When are you coming home? Who are you with? That's not nice. So it works both ways. And if you've not got that trust, long distance is not going to work. To be honest, any relationship, if you don't have the trust, is going to be really difficult. So, but trust, especially in long distance relationships, is my number one thing, and you need to have that. And it's not really something that you can just magic. Like, you just have to know your partner and have those honest conversations. And that leads on to my next one, being communication. So every morning we say good morning to each other. Like, it's normally JP saying good morning to me first, because he does wake up before me. But we always, every single day, we text good morning to each other. And it's just to start that communication every day. And every day we text each other. And I think people are always surprised by that. We don't call each other every day, but we do talk a lot on the phone, and like video call and this and that. But we text constantly throughout the day. Obviously, we both have kind of like office jobs, so we are able to like while we're at work. But I think it's really important, even if you aren't able to constantly like chat throughout the day, to at least do your good morning and good night. I think it's just nice to know that you have each other on your mind, and like it's something that you would do if you were together. You know what I mean? Like, in the morning, you'd wake up and you'd say good morning, and then just when you go to bed, you say good night, you know, in bed together. And I think it's bringing that, and it's such an easy, small thing to do, that, yeah, I think that is a really practical tip, is just doing that, because it just, you know, it starts the conversation every day. And yeah, I would just say putting in the effort to texting. Like, we are natural texters. Like, we use WhatsApp. That's our texting platform of choice. And obviously, with him being in Europe, I can call on there for free. It doesn't cost me anything, because it's using data, so I don't have to worry about international call codes. So I'd recommend, if you are in an international relationship, that you get an app like WhatsApp, where you can obviously call for free using internet and data. Then my next tip is making little moments. So during lockdown, every Thursday would be our date evening, and he told me the food app for his area, and then he used to go on, I think, Uber Eats for me, and then we would buy each other a surprise meal, and then we would just have a little date night together. There was also this app where we could watch Netflix at the same time and chat to each other, and that was really nice as well, because this was obviously during lockdown, so we were both really bored, and it just made our night its own little thing. And I think that's something that you could still do now. We don't do that anymore because we're both quite busy now that, lockdown's over. We go out and see friends and family a lot more. We're still texting and talking and stuff, but we're not quite needing that amount of connection. But it was something that we both loved during lockdown. But also sending each other little treats, like JP. He's sometimes keep an eye out for someone at the door. And I'm like, what? The other day he sent me some muffins, which was really random, really cute. And then he'll see something on TikTok shop and buy it for me. I tend to buy him stuff throughout when I'm here, and then I'll pack it all into my case and take it with me. He loves Costco beef jerky, so every time I go into Costco, I always ended up picking a bag up for him. But it's little things like that. I know some people really like to write letters and postcards to each other. I think that can be really cute. It's not something we would probably do because we text a lot, but I know that's something a lot of people like to do. I'll leave the name for the Netflix app because it is really cool. But also as well, I'm trying to get him to buy a Switch so that we can do Mario Kart and Luigi Mansion and playing a game together. We both really loved the Switch when I took it over to play with last time. So I think if there is a game console you both enjoy, being able to play something together online could be a really great option. And I'd highly recommend the Switch because I feel there's games that a lot of couples can enjoy together. The games are a lot more not family oriented, but they're not Call of Duty or shooter games. There's a lot more fun games that I think girls will like. So I think it's just trying to make the most of the situation. At the end of the day, the situation is the situation. It's not probably what you'd want your relationship to be, but I think it's really important to just make the most of it, and rather than be we just need to if that person's away for a year or 2 years or 3 years, just waiting for them to come back, I don't think it's a very good use of time. And you could still be making memories and still be having fun, even though it's not in the way you thought. And I think that's super important because you don't know what's going to happen. Their trip or work or whatever can be extended. COVID, stuff like COVID, this was not our plan at all. And you just have to make the most of the situation, and you can't just almost take a pause on it. You need to still make it fun. You still need to have make those memories, even if you can't make them together in the same room, if you know what I'm saying. And then my final tip is to always plan your next trip, because for me, I like to know when I'm seeing him again, because it gives me something to look forward to. And I don't like having that. I always think just before you finish the one trip, it's really important to have the conversation, because diaries get booked up, especially around Christmas and stuff. We were trying to work out well, I'm doing this weekend and you're doing that weekend. When are we going to see each other? And I think it's really important to have that conversation before you leave, and then book it in. because yeah, it's nice to have something to look forward to. Like me and JP, we try and see each other every month. I know that's quite a lot for a long distance relationship, but that's because he's so near. But I do think even if you are in a really long distance relationship, even if you can only see each other maybe like once a year, just even put in like a date that you think you might move, just so you do have something to look forward to and talk about together and plan. It just really helps to have that thing to look forward to. And I will also say a really practical tip is to split the cost. Because of our work and just the way things are, I do go and see JP a lot more than he comes to me. And at first I was paying for myself to go, and then he was paying for himself to come here. But with everything going on and me going over to see him a lot, I was spending a lot of money. And we ended, and like, it was an uncomfortable conversation to have, like, I'm not gonna lie, because, you know, it's money's so uncomfortable to talk about. But we now have decided that we split every flight together. So when he comes over here, we split it, you know, so it's fair. I'd highly recommend doing that from the get-go, because then you're not like, oh, well, I paid for 3 flights and you've only paid for 2 flights, so well, you'll pay for, you know, just do it from the get-go. We just had to, like, we just said, let's just start afresh, and like, we didn't go back to see who paid the most. But we now do that where we literally go half, because at the end of the day, it is a relationship, and it's the two of us that are getting both of the enjoyment out of the person coming over to visit. And it is strenuous. Like, I do, like, traveling is so exhausting, and when I'm doing it so much and also paying full for it, it's kind of like, whoa. So I think it's a good conversation to have with your partner. It can be quite a tricky one. Like, obviously JP was literally fine with it, but yeah, it was just a conversation that was a little bit like, awkward. But once we've had it, like, honestly, it's been really good. It's been really good, and yeah, it's worked out really nicely. I'd also, oh yeah, plans, this is still in the same category, but you can always meet in the middle. You can always make a holiday out of seeing each other. Like, you don't have to go to theirs and to yours. You could always go on holiday somewhere and meet each other, which is also another, like, sometimes you forget that. So we were going to go to Edinburgh together for Christmas, but then there were no flights from Nice to Edinburgh, which is unfortunate. So we are going to do a little Christmas trip in London. Do let us know. Like, obviously we both lived in London, but have you got any good like London Christmas ideas? Obviously Winter Wonderland and like Covent Garden and all like the department stores, but anything I've missed? Because I'm going to London a lot with people. I think I'm going like 3 weeks in a row. So if you have any ideas on really cute like Christmas things that we could get up to, let me know. I need to book the restaurants as well that we want to go to, because they're always super popular. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, gave you a little bit of insight into our relationship, but also I hope it gave you some like practical tips that you might be able to take to your long-term relationship, long-term, long distance. Big thank you to Love Excellence for sponsoring a portion of this video. Of course, this is a big fun help in a long distance relationship. So yeah, I think this could be a really fun thing to add, to spice it up a little bit. It is a lot of fun. So I will be linking that down below. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. And of course, if you have any tips or advice or questions, do leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll try and get back to you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.